reflects that a legislative charter of rights is not included.
Instead, there'll be a framework including $12 million on education, a new parliamentary joint committee to scrutinise legislation, and every new bill introduced to Parliament will need a statement on how it complies with human rights. The opposition says the government has wasted more than $2 million promoting an idea which never had community support. The government will review the policy in 2014. A charter would have allowed judges to make a declaration on whether legislation breached human rights.
The government believes that the enhancement of human rights should be done in a way that, as far as possible, unites rather than divides our community.
Civil libertarians say a charter has broad community support and would not give greater powers to judges because they would only refer their declarations back to Parliament, not nullify legislation. Some believe a Bill of Rights could be at odds with some of the government's own policies on asylum seekers, including suspending claims from some countries.
And its decision to lock these innocent people up in a remote desert camp may well be capable of challenge under a Human Rights Act.
Those new policies, though, haven't stopped the arrival of yet another boatload of asylum seekers, the 11th this month.
So we've had 112 boats, more than 5,100 people since Mr Rudd announced how compassionate he was in the middle of 2008.
Meanwhile, the Greens are looking out for the rights of children and have developed a bill to establish a National Children's Commissioner. They're calling on all parties to support it. Rachel Baker, World News Australia.
Children will no longer be held in detention centres under a new plan to deal with asylum seekers. The Prime Minister says it's not the Australian way to keep youngsters behind razor wire. The 700 children currently in detention, along with their families, will be moved into community housing, supervised by churches and charities. The government has also announced that 2 new detention centres will be built on the mainland. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simkin reports.
It's a major change in direction for the government and its new immigration minister.
I've come to the view that there is a better way of dealing with detention for many children and families.
And an even bigger shift for the asylum seekers. Hundreds of children and their families will move from confinement to the community. Churches and charities will help house them.
I don't think it's the Australian way to have kids behind razor wire in the hope that that may be a deterrent.
Just last month, the Prime Minister seemed happy with the current conditions.
Well, they're being held in accommodation that we believe is suitable for families and suitable for children.
9 boats have arrived since then, and the detention centres are overflowing. 2 new facilities will be built to accommodate nearly 2,000 asylum seekers. 1,500 men at Northam outside Perth, and 400 family members at Inverbrackie near Adelaide. Facilities in Darwin and Melbourne will be used as backups.
Isn't this proof that the government's border protection policies have comprehensively failed? How will opening more beds stop more boats?
Of course, the Leader of the Opposition has sloganised about this.
That slogan was "Stop the Boats." Today's changes are unlikely to do that, and with the East Timor solution still at the discussion stage, the government's immediate focus is on expanding its detention facilities. Since the election, it's announced 3,000 extra beds.
Finally, we're seeing the government acknowledge that the current practice of detaining children and families in immigration detention is not right and it needs to change.
These measures have not been part of a deal with other parties, as has been suggested. These decisions have been taken by the government and the government alone.
You could call that a green slapdown. Mark Simkin, ABC News, Canberra.
People wearing low-sagging pants could be forced to pull up or pay up.
The lack of respect that they have for themselves projects on others.
We'll tell you about the effort to outlaw the fashion trend.
It's a style.
Lawmakers take aim at a style they call a fashion faux pas. Good evening, I'm Rob Masson. Jennifer Van Vranken is off tonight. With 2 special legislative sessions under their belt, state lawmakers are heading back to work for their first regular session under Governor Jindal. Tomorrow, they'll tackle a number of issues from health care to education to rebuilding the coastline. But one bill may turn law enforcement officers into the fashion police. Allison Braxton has the story first on Fox 8 tonight.
Senator Derek Shepherd may be trying to take the punch out of the red light photo cameras, but another one of his bills may hit some people below the belt. For the second time since 2005, Senator Derek Shepherd is introducing a bill that would make it a crime for anyone who wears underwear exposing pants. Is it hard to walk like that?
No, once you get used to it, you know you do begin to get a little swag with it.
21-year-old Jordy Jackson has been wearing low-slinging pants since high school.
I sit on my box with me.
Pretty soon, he could be committing a crime.
I still think it's disgusting. I still think that we have to help parents, help their children to learn.
If the legislation is passed, violators are subject to 3 8-hour days of community service and up to a fine of $175. Shepherd doesn't believe the baggy pants bill is a form of discrimination.
Because obviously it's a parenting issue, but the state can help a parent do their job.
Some say New Orleans police don't have time to be the fashion police as well.
Some people, they go to extremes and it kind of is offensive, yeah. I think it's a bad idea to empower the police.
It's a waste of time because people still gonna do it.
Jackson says he's willing to risk becoming the next fashion criminal.
I bring them back down.
Allison Braxton, Fox 8 News.
Reasonable. And Today Tonight is never more reasonable than on the subject of Mercedes Corby.
Yes, now you might remember in February, Jodie Power accused Mercedes Corby of being a bit of a druggie. Well, Today Tonight are on Jodie's side.
And The Current Affair are on Mercedes' side.
And to represent these two, we've chosen these cheap, dim-witted dolls.
Now, if you haven't seen her in the flesh before, of course, Mercedes Corby looks like this. Here she is. Or, of course, if you watch Today Tonight, she looks like this. Yes, there she is. No doubt that's the most flattering footage Channel 7 could find.
Yes. And that very fair slow-motion effect was used, of course, during an interview by host Anna Corrin.
This is a complete fabrication.
Anna Corrin, everyone.
You can understand, of course, why Today Tonight has it in for Mercedes, because they have some very serious evidence backing up Jodie Power. Now, prepare yourself for these startling revelations from a Corby clan insider.
He says he was stunned when Jodie Power spoke out. He doesn't know her, but he does believe her.
A guy who's never met Jodie Power? Oh, you're gone, Corby.
Yes, it's impressive. But look, it's not who he is, but it's actually what that guy says that blows the whole case open.
I don't know too much about Mercedes, but the truth about Chappelle, it's the truth.
Tenuous is tenuous. But on top of all that hard evidence, they even put Jodie Power on a lie detector.
Yep, Today Tonight are always chaining someone to something.
But for Mercedes, polygraph wasn't good enough. Oh no, they savaged her with the most foolproof lie detection process known to man. Reading the body language of someone through a TV screen when you can't actually see their body.
Well, to be fair, Andrew, body language can be actually revealing of what a person actually thinks.
Oh, yes.
Today Tonight.
Yes. Either way, here is the body language expert's conclusion.
She says it's lies, showing that she's not really on solid ground about what she's saying and believing what she's saying. Because when you're being honest and open about what you're saying and you believe it, you say it would be lies, as opposed to lies.
Yes, you see, she spoke like this. I mean, not only therefore is she a liar, so is this parrot.
Holly want a cracker? Holly want a cracker?
Jeez, if speaking in the upper register makes you a liar, I wouldn't trust much of what this woman's saying.
Just get the camera out of my face, will you?
Don't touch the cameras, please.
Just get out so I can go.
No, really, we shouldn't mock the body language guy. It's not like he's full of shit.
Actually, now, Today Tonight aren't the only ones with body language experts.
Oh, no.
It's Jodie's sudden eye movements that Janet Hall says are the giveaway.
Oh.
You moved your eyes! Well, look, if moving your eyes is a problem, it really makes you wonder how sincere Sylvester Stallone was being when he told ACA how much he likes Australia.
And in Australia,
So after all that, what is the verdict? Well, they're both infuriating bogans.
Of course, the massive scandal in this whole thing was actually when Today Tonight lied to Mercedes so they could ambush her in this cafe, you know. But what really touched my heart was the reason TT pulled out at the last minute.
We didn't film anything with Mercedes because she had a baby with her. Any mother with a baby, of course, you don't film them.
A baby? A baby? Is that all it takes to avoid being beaten up by Today Tonight?
Yes, well, and we thought that information could come in very handy for the type of people Today Tonight usually target.
Hey, Muslim! Today Tonight's coming.
You need this baby now.
Good luck.
This lucky cat won't protect you. You need a baby.
They're coming. They're coming!